This is video 4 in my series with the solutions to the Unit 3 review. Number 21 says, write the equation of the line perpendicular to 4x minus 2y equals 6, passing through 3, negative 5. So remember, perpendicular lines have opposite reciprocal slopes. And in general, when you want to write the equation of a line, I would use point slope form. Y minus y1 is equal to the slope times x minus x1. We already have the point. So x1 is going to be 3. Y1 is going to be negative 5. Be careful there, it's y minus negative 5. And we just need the slope. Well, where am I going to get a slope? Well, I can get the slope of this equation. And then remember, I want the opposite reciprocal slope since I'm looking for the perpendicular line. So probably going to put this in slope-intercept form. I guess you could use, you could graph it and try to count the slope. But anyway, I'm going to subtract 4x from both sides. So that would be negative 2y is equal to negative 4x plus 6. Divide both sides by negative 2. Remember, everything gets divided by negative 2. And we get y is equal to, it's going to end up being positive 2x minus 3. Slope's 2, okay, which is 2 over 1. So the opposite reciprocal is going to be negative 1/2. And my function is y, remember, minus and negative is really a plus 5, equals negative 1/2 x minus 3. And there's our equation. And you can multiply it out in other forms if you needed to. Number 22 says, what is the equation of the vertical line through negative 1 comma 6? Remember that that vertical lines all have the same x coordinates. So vertical lines are x equals equations. If you graph this, negative 1, 6. So that's a vertical line passing through negative 1. All of the x coordinates are negative 1. That's the equation x equals negative 1. Okay. 23, write the equation of the line passing through the point negative 5, 7 and negative 1, 15. So again, we're going to use point slope form here. Y minus y1 is equal to the slope times x minus x1. And again, my points are negative 5, 7 and negative 1, 15. So you need the slope. Slope, of course, is the change in y over the change in x. y2 minus y1, that's 15 minus 7. x2 minus x1. Got to be real careful here. It's negative 1 minus negative 5. On the top, we're going to get 8. On the bottom, negative 1 plus 5 is what that really is. It's 4. Slope ends up being 2. Okay? And this time, we want the equation of the line that goes through those points. You can use either one of the 2 points to substitute into the equation. So I'm going to do x minus x1. That's going to be minus negative 5. My slope is 2, and my y-coordinate's 7. So I'm going to write that as y minus 7 is equal to 2 times quantity x plus 5. Remember, minus a negative is a plus. Again, you could multiply out parentheses. You could add the 7 to the other side if you need to put it in slope-intercept form, but the question did not ask you to do that. All right, 24. An angle is 6 less than twice its supplement. What are the measures of the angles? As I always tell my geometry classes, anytime you write an equation, you're looking for things that are equal or that add up to a total. And I'm always asking myself what the situation is. Remember, supplementary angles add up to 180 degrees. Okay, if you put them together, they would form a straight angle. So they're talking about one angle that's 6 less than twice its supplement. So notice that they describe one angle based on the other. Okay, one angle is 6 less than twice its supplement. And by the way, the 2 angles are supplements of each other. So I'm going to call one totally unknown angle x. The other angle is 6 less than twice its supplement. In other words, it's 6 less than twice this angle right here. Well, 6 less than twice this angle. Twice this angle would be 2x. 6 less than that would be 2x minus 6. Okay, so now I've labeled this angle based on what I was told about that first angle. Or rather, I've labeled the second angle based on what I was told about it in relationship to the first. All right, are these equal or do they add up to something? Well, they're supplementary, so their sum is 180 degrees. So we can add that together. We get 3x minus 6 is 180. We can add 6 to both sides. 3x is going to be equal to 186. And let's see, 3 goes into 180 60 times. It should be 62, I think. Yeah, x is going to equal 62. And then you need to read the question carefully. They may ask you for both angles, in which case you've got a 62. See if I double, it's 124 minus 6. I think it's a 62 and a 118. In this particular question, they do ask you for both angles, so we're good there. All right, and on to question 25. Let's see what this one says. It says the sum of a number and 5 more than twice that number is 95. What are the two numbers? Okay, so there are two numbers here. My first number, I'm just going to call x. And the second number is described using the first, so why not still use x for this? 5 more than twice the original number. Twice the original number would be 2x, 5 more than that would be 5. So you're adding the two numbers together. So that's x plus 2x plus 5, and the sum is supposed to be 95. So we have 3x plus 5 is 95. Subtract 5 on both sides, you get 3x is equal to 90. X is going to be 30, okay, and having everything labeled really helps. So our first number is 30. 2 times 30 plus 5 is 65. Those are our two numbers.